Welcome back, everyone. In this video, our goal is to demonstrate the use of the pattern brush when painting a landscape. Like the Alpha brush, this brush allows you to assign a texture of your choosing over here, which we can then paint onto the surface of our landscape, specifying the channel, the texture channel of our choosing. Also, like the Alpha brush, this is a super handy tool for quickly adding some texture variation. So again, I am in my map sculpting level and I've zoomed way out to show the entire landscape. With my landscape selected, I do have my landscape material slotted in. And I'm currently in landscape mode, the paint tab. I've got my paint tool selected, only this time instead of the circle or Alpha brush, we're coming the next one down, the pattern brush. Now, in our texture area right here, I'm simply using my T Alpha Brush 01 that you should have added into your project a bunch of videos back. You can find that here in this directory. And of course, I'm going to be using my red texture channel. It doesn't really matter which one we use for this. And we're going to demonstrate how we can use this to quickly add a lot of variety all across our landscape. Now, I do have my snow layer selected right here. And just with much of my default settings here, although I do have my texture scale set to 0.4 and my brush size set at 8192, you can see how as I'm kind of moving my brush along, it's kind of like a spotlight of sorts where it's revealing that texture throughout my landscape. And I could simply do an effect like this where I left click and drag and add some snow like that. That's one thing I could do. However, I'm just going to do Control Z here. I can use this to apply some variety, a pattern to my entire landscape here. So I'm going to try a few settings. My texture scale here I'm going to set to be 0.05. My brush size I'm going to make bigger than my maximum slider here. You can see it when I left click and drag the slider, it caps out at 8192. But if I select this and put in a value of 60, let's go 70,000. It caps it out at this value, 65,536, and that's almost the entire size of my landscape. And you can see now my textures are much smaller and they're kind of tiling out there. That's fine. Now all I'm going to do is with my tool strength also at 1, kind of strong, I'm just going to give this one click right about in the middle. Okay, so just gave it one click and you can see it's a little bit faded out in the corners because of my fall off, but you can see how it adds some quick texture variety, a pattern. Now obviously that doesn't look super real, but I can keep kind of applying this effect to break up my current landscape tiling and to add some variety. Like let's do a second pass here, okay? So this time I'm gonna make my tool strength be, we'll say 0.5. And we will do a texture scale of 0.15. And let's do a texture rotation of, I don't know, say 45 degrees, something like that. Brush size we will leave at its maximum. And now if I was to put this right about in the middle and left click, you can see it adds a little bit more texture variation. And we can keep doing this again and again. You know, maybe we increase the texture scale to be 0.5, something big like that. And I rotate it to some angle like, I don't know, 67. And now if I was to put this right in the middle and left click, again with some snow selected, now I've got an effect like that. And let me just minimize my brush size. So all I did was 3 different clicks using a pattern brush with my snow layer selected, with things just simply scaled differently, and now I've got some nice texture variation. So that is a really nice use of the paint pattern brush to add a bunch of texture variation to your landscape. Guys, that is going to do it all for this one. We will see you in the next one.